Guide for Inner Spiritual Being by Rabbi Michael-ben-Pesach, Portnaar. 53rd lesson. The matter of limitation. To understand limitation is to limit the situation he is in, and not wants, gadlut, or greatness. Instead, he wants to remain in his present state forever, and this is called eternal dvekut, adhesion. To be prepared to stay forever in eternity, bekviyut. This is named the eternal merging, dvekut tmidit. Regardless of the measure of gadlut, even if he has the slightest katnut, one, smallness, if it shines forever, it's considered having been imparted eternal dvikut. However, when he wants greater gadlut, it is called luxury, motrot. One more time. Regardless of the measure of gadlut he has, even if he has the slightest katnut, one, smallness, if it shines forever, it is considered having been imparted eternal dvikut. However, when he wants greater gadlut, it is called luxury, motrot. 1. This is the condition where the inner being, kilim de hashpa'ah, experience he is in the vague area of the outer being. This is named the lowest situation because now there is no consideration with his outer being, the kilim de Kabbalah. This is the meaning of any sorrow will be surplus, meaning sadness comes to a person because he wants luxuries. This is what is meant when Israel came to receive the Torah. Moses brought forth the people to the bottom of the mount, as it is written, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. A mountain, har in Hebrew, means thoughts, and in Hebrew, hirhurim, so in the plural. So Moses led them to the end of the thought and the understanding and the reason, the lowest degree there is. Only then they did agree to such a state, to walk in without any wavering and motion, to remain in the state as if they had the greatest gadlut, and to be happy for it. This is the meaning of serve the Lord with gladness, meaning during gadlut it is irrelevant to say he gives them work because during the gadlut gladness comes by itself. Instead, the work of gladness is given to them for the time of katnut, so they will have joy although when they feel katnut too, and this is the great work. 2. Only when you are in an emptiness of highlight created by yourself, in the condition of the shortcoming, the joy for the work will be experienced. But is it possible to stay in this emptiness and experience the joy? Well, in a way, yes, because the light never leaves the kli completely. The light only leaves the kli when there are evil deeds on a lower step. But when you want to become in agreement of quality with a higher step, you want to ascend at the spiritual ladder to a higher step. A light considering the lower step, the highlight will always leave behind a weak radiation, reshemot, to give you the possibility to correct your deed and stimulate your strivings. A higher step wishes always the good for the lower step. This is called the main part of the degree, which is the disconnect, which is the discernment of katnut. The discernment must be permanent, kviyut, and gadlut is only in addition to tosfet. Also, one should yearn for the main part, not for the additions. Lesson 53, continued. The matter of limitation, Part A. The essence of a limitation is to reduce the present situation and without wish to go further, but to stay in such a condition more often. This is named a constant merging. The level of growing is irrelevant, even if the level is increasing. As long as the aim is pointed at eternity, he is granted a constant merging. If you wish more, and you are wishing for unnecessary luggage. It is important for a human being, even in an artificial way, to be constantly at the correct line, to be satisfied without wishes for the better or the greater. Then one is merging with the Creator, in agreement to quality, considering the giving, because the Creator hasn't also a wish for improvement. When one is in the condition of correction, you have to be constantly in a situation of enough is enough, and without wishes for a better or greater situation. This solves any grief, because one is grieving through the thirst to want more. When Israel was at the feet of the mountain to receive the Torah, it was at the lowest step. They understood there was no resistance, and to stay in that situation if it was the highest, and to have joy in it. When you are in a situation of uplifting, it isn't necessarily to stay in joy, because joy is already there. Only when one is in the state of falling, there must be joy, and this is very hard for mankind. At the moment when you're in a condition of falling, limitation is necessary, and you have to be aware of it constantly. Upliftings are only additions. There must be a wish for the permanent thing, and not for the additions things. How can you be in the lowest and the worst situation and think you're in the highest and the best one, and experience that joy, and also experience the pleasure? How can you do that? Well, as a person, you must not be afraid to fall. There has to be a wish for corrections and the agreement to quality with the Creator, and not for the wish of kilim de Kabbalah, because you wish according to your corrections. And it is enough to be in a state of joy when you are falling, because then you will receive independently from Him. The most important thing is to stay in balance in the condition of katnut. Katnut is a condition of unsatisfaction with what you did or received, of bitterness and inner emptiness. Neglect these situations and stay forever in cheerfulness and satisfaction. This remarks fullness. It demands, however, great effort. To say there is nothing in my hands, heart or soul, it doesn't matter. You are cheerful because you don't want anything. The most important is to be one with the Creator and demand nothing. Just as an embryo in the womb of the mother, when my action is in this way, I am in agreement with the Creator, because He hasn't either kilim de Kabbalah. And when there should be an addition to my kilim of al nat lashpia for the giving, it is complete. In this way, you must always think. Constantly annul the kilim, the Kabbalah, that is awakened, and this you receive the light for the sake of the Creator, leading to the goal of the creation. How can a person behold the condition of katnut? Because, and keep this in mind, keep always in your mind, it will not disturb the merging with the Creator. The awareness of the suffering and the pleasure will change. There are two objects, Creator and creation. There is suffering when the creation isn't in agreement with the qualities of the Creator. One is suffering considering the lack in this world. When we give our strivings at the Creator, we suffer under the absence of the Creator, because the thoughts were dwelling far away from Him. Consequently, suffering has many faces. This is the same for joyfulness. I can be cheerful because my pocket is filled, or because I'm filled with the Creator. Depends on you. All depends if you are concerned with the Creator or not. The physical suffering stops as soon as there is an observation for the Creator, and this redeems the absence of the light. The most important thing is, do not forget the Creator, and always think there's no one else besides Him. Question: how far has the ethical evolution to go before man loses his interests? Everything is created to discover the Creator. Every time we wake up to fulfill new wishes, but all the new inventions and technology do not bring happiness. Do you think cave dwellers were unhappy? The new will is never ending. It is an ongoing quest. When a new kli is formed, it will be empty. In every spiritual deed, there are material embeddings. Please review at the end of the lesson a table from 4 columns. What to correct, with what, result, and goal. Be well until the next lesson.